Welcome back to Nightly Nonsense, where we make some sense out of the nonsense. We've been talking about Memorial Day weekend, right? Talked about ultimate sacrifice, right? We've talked about whether or not you believe that if you perish, you perish. And we talked about last night this whole idea of how do you want to be remembered as somebody who talks about Jesus or somebody who walks with Jesus, right? And I said it's going to change your life. So tonight, let me challenge you to think about that whole idea. If you're somebody that wants to be remembered for talking about Jesus, well, then that's going to be at certain points, right? That's going to be at certain moments. Like, hey, talked about Jesus when it was Christmas time or when it was Easter time, or I talked about Jesus when I wanted my kids to be baptized. Talked about first communions. Talked about Jesus at weddings, talked about Jesus at funerals, talked about Jesus when I needed money, talked about Jesus when I needed this or this or this. I mean, a lot of people talk about Jesus around the Jesus vending machine. Like, hey, how's your Jesus today? What are you getting from Jesus today? What do you need from Jesus today? Right? Like that's the old, we'd stand around, right? And we'd talk about, what's going on at work and in our lives on our little 15-minute breaks, right? All of that kind of stuff. That's what happens. But we have these wonderful Jesus vending machines. We're like, hey, what do you want from Jesus today? Right? Come on up. Tell me what you want from Jesus. Put your dollar in the offering plate and it'll come out. But there is a huge difference between that. I wake up in the morning and I say, Jesus, man, I hope that you just take care of me well today. Here's my plan. Here's my things that I'm going to do. You just bless, 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 bless. Right? There's a big difference between talking about Jesus and walking Jesus. Listen, if you're going to walk with Jesus, your whole life is going to change. If you want to be remembered as somebody who really walked with Jesus, you're going to have to pay a price. Everybody in the Old Testament, everybody in the New Testament, right, who wanted to be known as somebody who walked with Jesus. I just want you to see Jesus in me. They paid the price, some of them the ultimate price. But every day they woke up and it was, if I perish, I perish. I'm going to do the right things. But it starts off in the morning by turning your day over to Jesus. People can't stand this. Pastors can't stand this. Anyway, you got to ask Jesus about everything. Well, you know what? If you're turning your day over to Jesus, which part of that doesn't ask Jesus about everything? I'm going to give you my whole day, Jesus, but I'm going to not ask you about this part, this part, this part, or this part. And if you're going to turn your day over to Jesus, you turn the whole thing over to Jesus. So do you need to ask him? Yes, you need to ask him. Well, what about discernment? Well, you know what? Discernment is still about asking. In this situation, Jesus, what do I see? What do I know? The closer you are to Jesus, the more Jesus-like you're going to see things. But I know a lot of people who use discernment as an excuse for, I'm going to do what I want to do, what I feel like it's right, what I feel like I should be doing, and I'm just going to call it a Jesus thing. It's a stamp of approval Jesusness. Super popular in our world today. Oh, Jesus told me that I need to build this building. Jesus told me I shouldn't come here. Jesus told me I should go here. Jesus told me I'm going to get this job. Jesus told me that I should do this. There's a big difference between that and actually literally putting your feet on the floor after you get up in the morning and go, all right, Jesus, just took my first step. Where do I go? What do I do? Do I do breakfast first, shower first? Do I spend time with you first? Do I spend time with my family first? What do I do? Like, where do you want me to be? If you want to be a person who's remembered for walking with Jesus, then you kind of have to walk with him, which is a very hard thing because Jesus isn't our little puppy that we take out for a walk. Jesus is actually, he's the one that walks us. Right, so rather than us putting the leash on Jesus, say, come with me to work and I'll put you over here and I'll take care of you and I'll feed you in a little bit. I'll do my devotions and we'll do water. Instead, it's, Jesus, I need you to take me for a walk. When's the last time that you asked Jesus to take you for a walk? Right? When's the last time that you woke up in the morning and said, Jesus, what do you want from me? If you want to be remembered, right, as someone who walked with God, followed God, did this, then you might want to be a little Moses-like and ask a whole bunch. And by the way, when God says, hey, Moses, you go ahead, you do it your way, right? Moses looks at him and says, I'm not going anywhere without you. not going to do anything unless you go with us. That's super important. So this nightly nonsense, let me give you some homework to chew on, right? That's when's the last time that you gave your collar, your leash to God and said, take me for a walk. You lead, you tell me, you show me, you protect me, you give me opportunities, right? Seen a lot of dogs walking. Seen a lot of dogs looking like they're walking their master, right? But ultimately, a dog can only go where we let them go. And it's up to us to take them to the right place, right? So they can run around, so they can get the exercise they need, so they can have a good walk, so that they can, go to the bathroom, so that they can, they're dependent upon us, right? But we have to do that same thing. If you want to walk with God, then you got to give yourself to God so that He can take you for a walk. So chew on that for a minute. We'll come back next week as we continue on this whole kind of Memorial Day, how do you want to be remembered theme.